Those who couldn't afford a fancy designer bed in the late 1960s could sleep in one of Rolf Heide's stackable beds. They were practical and simple, but nevertheless elegant. In 1967, the interior designer had a stroke of genius. It was a double bed that could be turned into a couch in a matter of seconds.
I think flexibility, which played a big role at the time, and mobility, not having to be pigeonholed, were very important back then.
The women's magazine Brigitte was instrumental in this home design revolution because it was the first glossy magazine in Germany to advertise furniture. Readers could see reasonably priced modern furniture and even have it delivered. That was a novelty. Renate Herzog, who headed a department at the magazine back then, came up with the Brigitte Furniture series together with Rolf Heide. That was 4 decades ago.
Overall, it was a significant break from the old German style, those typical heavy pieces, to this new style, which was light and easy to move. You could just carry a few boards under your arm into your student apartment and put your own furniture together. Of course, I'm aware that other publications were jealous that we were able to call attention to ourselves with the idea, and because they didn't have Rolf Heide working with them.
I wanted to design a practical, affordable item of furniture that also expressed that generation's aspirations.
Rolf Heide's stackable beds are still being produced at the Müller Möbelwerkstätten, a furniture factory in Lower Saxony. Around 2,500 beds are delivered every year all over Europe. It takes 2 to 3 days to make them. Much of the work here is still done by hand. And it has its price these days. The cost of one of these design classics now starts at 400 euros.
What was revolutionary about it was not just its practicality, but its appearance as well. The beds had a very specific shape that stayed in people's minds. But that shape had a purpose when you think about it. It wasn't cosmetic, it was logical.
The small living spaces of the 1960s were what gave Heide his idea of stacking beds to save space. It was the basic design principle that form follows function. And that's how the stackable bed was born.
The rounded sides fit together. If they had been angular, you'd have had slight differences, but the rounded edges go together and make it fit securely. It's solid along its length and width. That makes the stackable bed very stable.
The most important rule of construction is putting it together has to be as easy as possible.
That was the requirement. The fittings couldn't be too complicated. So I thought of a simple bracket that could be fitted onto the corner and screwed on from the outside. That's what held the bed together.
In 2003, Rolf Heide won the Cologne Furniture Fair Design Prize for his creation. Today, the simple bed that once occupied dorm rooms and student apartments is a design classic.